Hey guys, welcome back. Hopefully I didn't lose like all of you in the interim there. It's like, oh, he's not playing Mortal Kombat, leave. I promise we still have fun when we're not playing Mortal Kombat, guys. Don't let it scare you. Anyway, I've been playing this game again, so I did want to... I don't ever get time to play it, so I thought, why not play it on the stream with all of you? Hey, Grand, glad you made it back. We'll give people just a second to trickle back in. Hopefully they know that they have to go back and click on the stream thing again. And yes, I did name all my characters thus far after Tekken characters. Alright, we'll go ahead and get started. If people are coming, they're coming. Welcome back, GDH. Long time no see. I guess I could make an old man character as Heihachi. I mean, the whole Heihachi dying thing is just old at this point, right? I mean, they pulled that trick in Tekken 5. And it kind of worked with Tekken 5 because most of you whippersnappers don't remember what time release was. Like used to in the arcades, to keep people coming back to play the game, all the characters would start locked. And then as the game machine was left on for like a week or two at a time, new characters would unlock. So that would be the thing. You would want to come back and see who the new unlocked character was. And I think Heihachi was like the last one for Tekken 5. So like the intro had him as dead and you couldn't play as him. And then bam, one day you walk into the arcade and there he is. He's playable again with like his intro of like, you thought that could kill me or whatever it is he says in Tekken 5. So it was super cool back in the day. Let's take a look at our world map. What region should we go to? We'll just pick a region and go try to find some trouble. Try to find something to do. I have finished a few quest lines with this character, but it's fine. We can go and find other quests. I don't know, Michael Murray is in charge of Tekken now though, so he very well could just decide they have to stick with it. Is that Orsinium? I need to do the Orsinium. I kind of want to do the Orsinium storyline. Just go hang out with some orcs. But I'm not really sure how to start said quest. Well, you know, Review Fox, there was that one guy who had figured out how to port the Tekken Tag Tournament 2 characters into Tekken 7. I'm not a linguist, and I'm not the best writer in the world. It's just like there are a lot of missed opportunities. Yeah, there is, but that's pretty much any fighting game these days. Let me see. I may need to do one of the... No, I don't want loot crates. Go away. Leave me alone. It's so dumb. Like, it's dumb enough that this game has loot crates in it, but it's even more stupid that you accidentally press this button here and you get that whole animation of the Khajiit coming down to quest starters. How do I shot Orsinium? There we go. Travel to your starting. Really? It's going to make me age verify. I'm old enough I don't need to age verify. Ah, the invitation to Orsinium quest, of course. Why didn't I think of that? There it is, Rothgar. Okay, perfect. You have to pay in-game currency to fast travel in this, which is kind of dumb because, come on people, it's 2021. Caitlin Rulas, how you doing? Says, hey yourself. Has anybody ever seen that Sean Connery movie? It's like him and I forget the other guy. Rising Sun movie. Wesley Snipes, yeah, that was who it was. Apparently that movie didn't get good reviews. I liked that movie. And there's a scene in there where Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes pull up at like a parking garage or something. And they just like speed past. And the gate guard's like, hey! And Sean Connery just turns around in that famous accent and goes, hey is for horses. And that's like the only thing I remember about that movie. Other than it being a good movie, best I can remember. Check it out, I can just whip a horse out in town. Here we go.
If you have a letter from the Forge Mother, then you've come to the right place.
I like how they prettied orcs up for this game, like compared to what orcs look like in, say, Oblivion. Like, this just looks like a normal lady with like a pale complexion and spiky teeth.
The Caravan should have just entered with so many resources.
This is how much I care about this as a adult with more money for games than free time for games. Lei Jin and Jinpachi's own stories state that he had that gene. Lei Wulong definitely did not have the devil gene, but Jin and but Jin does. Heihachi didn't get it because it travels on like the matrilineal side or whatever.
What are you doing? We can't let Chief Basra deal with the wind by himself.
Of course we can.
Keep your head.
So I originally played this game back when it came out on
Did Orsinium send you? Are you? This Caravan? He's a cheat? No.
when it came out on the consoles. Like, I bought the PS4 version because at the time my wife was we didn't have kids and my wife was out of town a good bit with her work, and so like 3 or 4 nights a week it was just like me and the dog, and so I'm like, I need a good time sync game, and so I picked this up, played it a decent bit, never got very far with it, and then I decided to give it another go on PC because they had it on sale where you could get all the expansions for the price of one game. And it turns out this has something in it called animation canceling, and it makes the entire game a lot more fun once you figure it out. Hopefully we'll get in some combat here in a minute. I can show you animation canceling. But it's almost fighting game-esque mechanic.
Don't move. Chief Bosrog will be back for the rest of us as soon as he can.
No, he won't. That dude ain't coming back.
No orc alive. Somebody help us, please.
But basically how it works is like you see I have my hotbar down there. Like watch these guys. You have light attacks and you have like your bar attacks if this other player would stop killing them. See how they're pretty slow together, right? But you can animation cancel to get them fast like this. And so you can just like shred mobs once you learn how to do this. And I'm probably not even doing it right, but it's really fun. It's almost like a fighting game-esque mechanic. And once you hit level cap and you get all your skills, it becomes a game of like canceling between the different skills into other animations, which is actually kind of fun, and I like it. It reminds me of like a more doable version of K-Style Guns, the Duel, if anybody ever played that. I hope somebody in the chat knows about Guns, the Duel. That's some like old school MMO stuff, free to play. Is this an Asari?
What you did out there. Certainly, leave no stone unturned. Anything you uncover will prove useful.
What Shao Kahn show up in this game just to haunt me? He better not. If he shows up in this game, we have a problem. Instant while standing moves. Yeah, that makes sense. I got the picture. I'm not going to take the torch bug because you like take its wings off and put it in your inventory, and I'm not that cruel. Oh, we need to queue up for our daily dungeon too. It's all about them dailies, yo. Still learning the UI of this game. I'm so used to the console version. Yeah, we'll queue up with some real OG homies to do a dungeon here. It's pretty much a guaranteed level up, so. See, like I'm not even doing anything other than like a simple light attack into that one move there. And it still just shreds these guys. And so what that is it's a light strike, your one bar, and then you cancel the end of that animation with block, which is right click. It's just very satisfying once you start pulling it off. Review Fox, are you talking about in Guns? Do you remember Guns the Duel? Because there was a dash cancel in that. I assume that's what you're talking about. You just went up on the cool kid list if you remember Guns the Duel. Whee! Oh no. I'll be fine. It won't kill me. We made it. You were worried for nothing. Really? That's very strange. You don't have to donate. Like, don't feel bad about that. But that is very strange to me that it yeah, and it's turned on. It's not giving me a warning this time, so I don't know what the deal is. But I do appreciate it, but like for real, you don't have to donate. It's fine. Probably end up having to go to Patreon anyway. I shouldn't have jumped down. One thing they really captured the feel of really well for this game in moving it from a offline RPG to an online RPG is trying to go places on the map and scaling terrain because you're too lazy to find the path. I feel like that translated over from Skyrim on a 1-to-1.
The clan peasants. You're
The finest weapons and armor.
fight the Winterborn. Oh, Shah, the Wood Elf mentioned, and I appreciate that. Yes. The king's invitation. What a royal bag of snakes that. I suggest you're a long way from. I'm the chief. You're a long way. Unfortunately, not enough.
I'm paranoid, like if I don't exhaust all the dialogue, I'm gonna miss like some XP in there somewhere. It's like the Phantasy Star universe, except you actually want to play it. Yeah, exactly. I actually played a little Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst back in the day on PC. That was a fun game when you had folks to play it with, and sometimes even when you didn't. It was just very simple. Like it was online and it had leveling and stats and all that, so you felt like you were making progress, which was fun, but at the same time it was very simple. Like I was always a ranger, so the most I could do was like time shots so that I had the optimum amount of space between firing. But there was no like really like super advanced mechanics, at least as far as I know. So like I said, it was just very, very simple, just kind of a pick up and play MMO, like get some guys together and go do a quest. I assume that private server for PSOBB is still running. I need my boy Knuckles 500 to tell me about that. Oh, there's a recipe in there. I think I already know that. I downloaded Genshin, but deleted it shortly after. I did not hang on to it. There were some rumors out there about like, who publishes that? Is that a Tencent game? Like, there were some spying rumors and stuff, so I deleted it. I didn't need another MMO anyway.
It's a good day, friend. I don't see how that's any of your business. And if you're thinking of trying to rob me, well, think again. I know. Why didn't you just say so? Being all mysterious and scaring a person half to death. My Trinamax deformed toe. If this gold is illegal, my Shilha needs it. Right. You never heard this from me. He wears some kind of fancy fragrance. Says it keeps this.
Find the glug. I have to follow the fart cloud. How original. Well, bravo. Well done, Todd. I don't know anything about the Phantasy Star Greater Universe. I just played Phantasy Star Online. And the game is like, it was a shoot 'em up for me because I was a ranger, but it was like a hack and slash for other characters. And so pretty much the most text I read was like, what's the next objective to complete kind of thing. I've never played any of the offline RPGs.
Want to stop dealing with him.
Arusha would agree, except for all the gold they gave us.
I've heard mixed things.
John and John, even if he smells like a dead
Oh, look, a guy leaning against a building flipping a coin. That's original. Never seen that before.
We are nude.
Ah, here we go. Hell, don't blame you. The waifus are problematic as they were. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Chinese government or their policies or the stuff, the way that Chinese companies are kind of... I mean, they have a right to be in the gaming industry, I suppose, but just like some of the results of the stuff that they do because they're there, I don't like. So as soon as I saw the stuff about like Genshin Impact potentially spying on your computer, whether it's true or not, I was like, I'm out of here. Wait, what happened to the dungeon? Why is everybody else in City of Ash, but I am not? Need to figure out where this is to see if I can teleport back in. The Aldemary Dominion. There we go. I'll just port to them. That was very strange. I've never had that happen before. I tried World of Warcraft, but by the time I tried it, it was like too late, if that makes sense. Like I'd already played better stuff by the time it came out, so I just didn't care. Pretty much my MMOs of choice are, lately it's been this, but Shin Megami Tensei Imagine, and then Guild Wars 2. And then if you really count Guild Wars 1 as an MMO, Guild Wars 1. I played a crap ton of Guild Wars 1. Finished like all the expansions with the exception of like the last one. I'm about 9 or so levels from level cap, I think. I tend to like MMOs that let you be more active, if that makes sense. Like this, like I like how much movement there is, and I like the animation canceling. And like if I click, I get an attack. It's not just like a Silk Road or World of Warcraft, like just go and like engage in an auto attack type thing. Click and kill, as Knuckles used to say back in the day. Guild Wars 1 and 2 were very different than that. I'm still waiting on the next Guild Wars 2 expansion. I'll probably pick that game up, may even stream it a little bit once that expansion hits. End of Dragons. I haven't even been keeping up with it. Thing could already be out for all I know, and I just wasn't aware of it. It is. I enjoy it. It's at least the leveling part. We'll see what the quote-unquote end game is like, but and like I said, besides the animation canceling, you also have a hotbar, so you can swap weapons, like with tilde key. And so when you get to higher level, it becomes really a lot more fun because you have to swap between bars to get your rotation going. See, like I just swapped to run in and use the ultimate from my first bar and then go back to spamming this bow at range here. From what I've read, the end game seems to be more about builds rather than just like grinding equipment. I'm sure there is some of that, but it's more important to like set up a proper build. So that's kind of nice. That you're not worried about just like, wow, you know, running some mythic dungeon over and over and over trying to get the drop you want. To complete your build so that you can actually play the content you want to play. See, like if I want to help in this encounter, I could just swap to bow and then just like spray arrows everywhere. Where am I going? And yes, that is the same Dagon from Oblivion, for those of you that played that. Oh great, my inventory's full. Wonderful. Yeah, it is very adventurous. That's a good way to put it. One of the strengths of this is generally in the Elder Scrolls games you get one region per game, except for like the really old games. And they've done a really good job of representing all the regions in the game. So you can travel pretty much anywhere in Tamriel you want to go.
Stop them before it's too late. Rise, minions.
Yeah, see, we hit 42. It's almost always a guaranteed level up when you complete one of these. See if I got anything worth it for my lowly medium armored dark elf build. These nice Daedra shoulders here. Just leveling at this point, so just need to find the stuff with the highest stats. Not too worried about min-maxing yet. Drop some junk. It's a Parasite Eve miracle, everybody. I tried to get her into Skyrim, but she is more of a Call of Duty girl. She like Back for Blood. You talk about your girlfriend again? The one that dropped by here a few weeks ago? Yep, it's time to go disassemble some things. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Caitlin. It sounds like she likes ye old action game then. I mean, Skyrim has action, but not as like fast-paced, like run and gun, shooting and rooting and tooting this action type game like Call of Duty. One of these days I'm going to play one of those. Maybe that's how I'll become a superstar streamer. So like one of those was free on PlayStation Plus like a month or so ago, and I added it to my library just like, you know, it's free, why not? But I've actually never played one of those modern like Call of Duty shooters. I've never played the campaign, I've never played the multiplayer, not Black Ops, not Modern Warfare, I haven't played the first one. So maybe I should try that and just do it on stream so we can all laugh together. And at the end of the day, the real loot box will be the friends that we made along the way. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna research that.
They say clothes make.
Anyone playing COD, shoot DSP for me. Tell them Tevin sent you. Play Back for Blood when it comes out. Comparable. What is Back for Blood? Dude. Let me Google that. Back for Blood is a thrilling cooperative first-person shooter from the creators of the critically acclaimed Left 4 Dead series. Oh, this is that game that G-Man Reviews was talking about, I think. Yeah, it's the guys that made Left 4 Dead, and they made a game. I remember that now. He didn't really like it. He thought it was mediocre. But I didn't play much of the original Left 4 Dead, so maybe I would like it. Oh, we should equip that. Don't need to equip that. Oh yeah, I need to... Oh, that's a blade. That's not a dagger. Breastplate of the warrior. That's a heavy. We don't use heavy. I just have a policy with MMOs. Like, if you didn't work really hard to get whatever the item was, it's probably trash. Like, it's probably not that good. I do like this game allows you to like add stuff to a collection, which is nice. It's like kind of a secondary thing. It's fun to see all the stuff get filled in. I actually think this one is slightly better just because it gives the extra stamina, and I'm using a stamina build. Go ahead and bind that. Even after all that, I've still got only 54 out of 90 bag spaces. I've got to make some tough life decisions about what kind of junk I need to carry with me. Yeah, I think this one's actually better, so we'll equip the Sunder Flame. And then we'll just toss the rest of this into the money pile. Ragged style box. Where's the box? Here it is. So let me get this straight. I turned level 40. I'm 10 levels from cap. And so the item they give me is a bunch of rags. I mean, I get it. It was some kind of collectible, but okay. Yeah, that's great. The best items are found, not bought, except for the cat claw in FF1. Now there's a game I haven't talked about in a long time. Dark Moon Caverns, man. I love Diddy Kong Racing. I always cringe every time I level up and the character does that little whatever that is. It's kind of cringe, bro. Oh, I finally unlocked Summon Shade, so that's part of like I've been trying to follow like a meta build kind of thing, and that's one of the ones that was recommended if I remember correctly. Ugh, excuse me, I'm getting old and tired. Yeah, so that's that goes on our second bar. So I think what we do is we swap to this bar in combat and quickly pop that cooldown to bring out the shade. Because you see the second bar is mainly like healing type things. Healing and soul trap and that type of stuff. So we swap bars. Need to check the beginner build as well. Oh yeah, now we're in good shape here. Unlock some of those semi in-game abilities there. One thing I'm dreading is I'm going to have to go and grind these Fighters Guild levels here because the final build calls for this Trap Beast skill, which you don't get until level 8. So that's going to be a fun one to grind out. Anyway, back to following this fart knocker guy.
So much to do, so little time.
Who do you guys think will be the first company to consider sponsoring this channel? Do you think it'll be like Raid Shadow Legends, or do you think it'll be like NordVPN?
Hail, champion of the Crucible.
I don't know if I would do Raid Shadow Legends if they showed up. I don't think I would. Unless I got desperate, then I might. The fun part for me would be making the little cheesy transitions. That would be what I would enjoy the most doing.
Were you Gulag? What changed?
Like, imagine if I was reviewing the Tekken endings for Tekken 4, and I was like, Paul's ending is not canon, but you know what is canon? Picking up this free champion hero when you use my sign-up link at RaidShadowLegends.com. Immerse yourself in the great gameplay that is Raid Shadow Legends with more than 300 champions to collect. Yeah, I'm going to write some sick intros. It's going to be great.
Go find another bathhouse. I hired this one for the entire day. What's this about? If you aren't here,
Well, there goes this stream's monetization.
the outlying
Hang on.
plans. Their enemies
Why
are
is that
the
orc
same
wearing
empire.
like Tommy John brand
Their
underwear?
chiefs refuse to accept
This is supposed to be like a fantasy realm, and this guy's wearing like Walmart Hanes.
See what happens when you just try to help? The supplies were sent to Frostbreak Fortress. It's good to
Just a couple of orcs in a pool. Nothing to see here, folks. We know what the implication is, but the game's not showing it. Have you thought of a local one? I don't know, especially with COVID. I don't know if there'd be anybody that would find value in that around here. We did have, before COVID, there was a guy who started a local esports league. And, like, he was legit. Like, he had done an LLC and all kind of other stuff.
Ah, another traveler arrives in our grand.
But unfortunately, COVID just killed that whole thing.
Perhaps we can still recover the supplies that you located the store.
Is this one of the outsiders who responded to my invitation, High Priestess?
Yes.
He had offered, like, he had planned to come back and do, like, an online tournament.
I will speak to the outsider.
But there was an entry fee, and apparently everybody didn't like the entry fee. And I kind of got some opinions on it, and the main opinion was like, I know everybody who's going to show up at this thing. I could just call you guys up and do a Tekken lobby with the tournament if I wanted. So, like, why would I pay to join it? Other than supporting the community, of course. So, unfortunately, the online tournament didn't pan out, and so neither did walking across that rooftop. But it went under, so the local FGC is kind of, I won't say scattered again, because we're still around and we're still meeting up to play.
I'm on the next
But
caravan to oblivion with this place.
not at the level of organization that we had when the FGC organizer guy was around. That's a long way away. $300 champions and no War Greymon. You get that Digimon talk out of here. This is a Pokemon channel. I don't talk about no Digimon around here. There's fighting words. We actually had quite a few Digimon people at my high school. Well, not high school. Most people were... Like, all the people that still liked Pokemon were in hiding by that point. Oh no, my poor horse's legs. Oh no, I'll just resurrect. It doesn't matter. Well, I have no kids living at my mom's, and my car is paid off, and I'm making up to go off a tax bracket. So a few bucks doesn't seem steep for good content. Well... That's very kind. Yeah, I don't know about local sponsors. I have this really weird thing about, like... So I know several content creators in the area. There's actually some very big name content creators in the area where I live. I won't say their names just for their privacy, but just believe me, there are some in the area that pull in a very huge subscriber count, very huge following, live off their content. And there's some mid-range guys, and there's some guys kind of like me, just struggle busing here at the bottom, but doing fairly well for themselves. I won't say that I have nothing. I'm very pleased with the progress this channel and live stream has made. But anyway, there's quite a lot of them around, so I don't know about like a local sponsor. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. I have this weird thing, like most of the other guys I know that do this kind of thing, like when they go live, they're sharing in Discord, they're sharing in, you know, Facebook, and they've got like different Facebook groups they're sharing in. And I should, but I just have this weird thing about public, like being a gamer and all that, and streaming, and like my private life, if that makes sense. Like I just feel like they ought to be somewhat separated. And then part of it, I guess, is I still haven't gotten over the old, like, in high school fear of being made fun of kind of thing. This is why I don't ever get on Facebook, 'cause it's just like a waste of time anyway. But I don't know, it feels like two weird, like two different parts of my life. And so it's like, do I really want to merge those two realms together by introducing me, the online persona, to the old high school friends and old college friends and like people I go to church with and that type of stuff? Do I want to merge like those two worlds? And I haven't decided. I thought about making like a page for my gaming exploits and just like not liking it, like making it just a completely separate thing, not telling anybody on my real life friends list to go like it.
Our soldiers know what to do, Kira.
This horse has no idea. You're not supposed to bring your horse in the camp, Kunimitsu. Goodness.
You and the other chiefs
Get off the horse. It was a strange dismount. But Benny Blanco, who I've interviewed on here before, and I don't know if he streams so much these days because he moved, and I'm not sure he has internet yet. He used to stream on Twitch, and then he just like straight up moved his stream to Facebook, and so he streamed on there, and he was getting good viewership because of all like the, you know, people that knew him that would stop in. But at the same time, that's just kind of weird, like combination of two worlds I don't know if I want to bring together. Like, do I really want to explain to my 12th grade English teacher what a Shin Megami Tensei is? Like, do I really want to do that? Because that's what I would be doing if I started like sharing the stream over there and that kind of stuff.
Now that's a sight. Look at those catapults fly. I'm amazed the towers can withstand the punishment. The Bretons must have used orc crafters. And
Like, go for it, Atlas Moon. Like, I tell you, like what I've done, because Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, it's all a waste of time. It's all a dumpster fire. If you're not paying for a service, it's because you're the product. You don't need it like you think you do. So like what I do, and I've done this, if you've seen this rant on stream before, I'm sorry. But what I like to do is like I just deleted all the apps from my phone, right? So like I don't have Facebook app, I don't have Instagram app, I deleted the Reddit app. Because I just don't need it, right? Because I couldn't tell you how many times, like the week after I deleted it, I'm reaching for that phone. Like, oh, let me get my Facebook fixed. Just like reaching for that phone. I'm like, no, I got to stop this. So I still have a Facebook. It's just not on my phone. Like, I don't need it with me all the time. Like, if I'm on the computer and I get a moment, I can go over there and check it, be disappointed at how dumb my friends are, and then, no offense, I'm just kidding. Just be depressed at what I see on my Facebook feed and close it for later. Like, I don't need that constant like mobile fix of Facebook. Don't need it. And I'll tell you, my stress level improved like tenfold by doing that. Same for Reddit. Like, Reddit is just like this hive mind at this point. They all agree on the same thing. You can't be a dissident or you're like an evil, horrible person and you're just going to get downvoted to oblivion. It's like, I don't need that. You know, I'll think for myself, thank you. Let me take these insect parts. Is his name King? Oh, I thought his name was King Kellogg for a second. I thought he was like Special K, Special Orc. But yeah, you don't need social media. Like, I save Messenger just because, like, if I did need to message like some high school friend from 10 years ago for whatever dumb reason, I could. But I'm just okay at this point with knowing that it's there, and that's enough.
I love the smell of food.
I know that it's there, but I don't need to look at it right now, is the best way to put it. How do I shot?
I love the smell of the siege camp.
Oh, because I'm supposed to find a way to sneak in. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, great. It really is a dumpster fire. Eris did it right. Yeah, it's basically the Eris approach. Yeah. Yeah, listen, we live in a signpost in the yard type generation, which is really sad. Like, if you go down, there's one particular neighborhood here in town you can go down, and everybody has their yard sign up about their political affiliation or their social cause or whatever it is. And you know, some or all of those things may be good things. I don't know, but it's just like we feel this need to tribalize ourselves. Like, I remember growing up in the 90s and 2000s, the first election that I really remember, and I'm breaking my no politics rule, but it's going to be a neutral conversation. I'm just making a point. The first election I remember was George Bush and Al Gore. And I remember seeing like a few signs for both sides. And then immediately after the election was over, they were gone. That was it. Everybody went on with their life. Nobody cared anymore. That was it. But now, like, we're so ready to tribalize ourselves into factions. And it's like, even if you are a tolerant person and you put that yard sign in your yard, you're drawing a boundary between yourself and other people. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel about it. It's like, you know, no need to draw a boundary between yourself and other people. It's like, you know, my friends, like, I don't ever post anything political on Facebook. I don't post political. I post very few opinions because I don't want Mark Zuckerberg to know and sell my data to the Illuminati. But I try to make it so that all of my friends know if they really want to know where I stand on something, they can come and talk to me about it, and we'll hammer it out. And that's the way it should be. You know, I don't need to put a sign up in my yard that says I feel this way about this, because then there's no context to it, right? And we're solely lacking in context here in 2021. I feel like I'm always starved for stamina the better I get with this canceling thing. I don't know if it's just because I have a crappy build right now or what. I need to look into that. This is just the tower from the intro of Skyrim. My character's so short. Hey, it's Tulpa from Ronin Warriors. Destroy Harpy Ares. Well, wouldn't those be in the sky?
Glad to see these soldiers alive and well. I hate losing perfectly good troops to the Winterborn.
I hate perfectly bad voice acting. Oh, scared me, King Kellogg. See, I was hoping there would be something up here, but there's not. Alright, back down we go. My poor character, I just sling her off cliffs and ledges. I lost friends, lost election, last election. I wish I'd never paid attention. Too bad people are eating those signs now. I have actually played Hybrid Heaven, so that's a super rare game, but for whatever reason, my old grad school roommate owned that. And he just busted it out randomly. One day we were sitting around, and I had brought the N64 out. And he's like, oh, have you ever played Hybrid Heaven? I was like, what the heck is that? He's like, hold on, I'll go get it. And so we played it. And the best I remember, we were like, at the beginning of the game, it was something like you were in an elevator and you went like way down deep, and we were like you said, like wrestling with monsters. It was really strange. Well, thank goodness I completed that daily endeavor. I don't know what a Harpy Airy is. I thought Airy was that brand at the store next to Victoria's Secret. You know, the one you're not supposed to look in the window if you're with your wife? That one? What is a Harpy Airy? If I remember correctly, Hybrid Heaven was kind of difficult. Like, the controls were very obtuse. I do have the EverDrive and the HDMI adapter, so I guess we could load it up and try it. people's desires. Did I level up again? Dang. Here's the human condition. People want what they don't have until they get it, and then they don't want it anymore. That's pretty much human condition. Skill specifications scroll. Nice. So 7 more levels and we are level cap. I gotta look up what a harpy airy is because I don't know. See, this still says find a way inside Frost Break Forest, which I did, but it's also telling me to, I don't know, I guess I should just appreciate that the game isn't holding my hand for once. But we do need to find what a harpy airy is. Of course I can't. I guess I should have paid attention to the dialogue the quest giver was telling me, huh? How is it playing a game where you can die with no consequences? Yeah, my dear wife got me an EverDrive a year or two ago for Christmas, and she didn't pay as much as they probably are now, but there's a reason I married her. It was an excellent gift for an N64 aficionado. The streamer named Pandora found how to input coordinates, so she'd been messing around the game. Oh, she's like hacking Hybrid Heaven? Oh, a speedrunner. Okay, that explains why she was poking around with that. I keep forgetting you're from the CV64 Discord, so you would know about speedrunners and that type of stuff. Are you a harpy, Eric? Oh, an unofficial Elder Scrolls pages let me down. They don't have a... Oh, destroy the harpy nest above the forest towers. I thought it might be something like that. Okay. We're in business again. We know what to do. Or at least I think we do. Yeah, let's... Yeah, they said there's a tower, so I bet there's going to be like a harpy nest up there. So yeah, let's go. One thing they let you get away with is you can just run through a lot of enemy formations in this game because they'll de-aggro after you get far enough away. And if they don't hit you, you don't really lose your speed.
Tower secure. Good work, outsider. The wood elf is right behind me.
I didn't even do anything.
I'm getting really tired of you orcs trying to leave me be... That's strange. Where did the sergeant go? Typical. Now I know why Orsinium put out that call for help. Well, at least you're still here. Let me know when you want me to light the signal. Do me a favor and...
I don't know how any of that destroyed anything, a harpy underwear store, but hey, at least we got it, right? Throw my character off another cliff. Yeah, I actually thought that made a very interesting gameplay dynamic for Skyrim. Like, the whole Civil War quest was poorly done. Like, super poorly done as far as, like, it's just pick a side and then go basically clear out enemy forts for an hour. And then boom, you ended the war. But I do think that was a very interesting moral conundrum that they presented you with, in that, like, for example, if you sided with Jarl Ulfric, then the persecution of the Argonians and the Dark Elves in his city was going to continue and probably, to some extent, spread across the country, which is not good, obviously. But at the same time, the Empire is weak, and if Skyrim stays a part of it, there's a good chance that they will fall to the Aldemiri Dominion as well. Whereas if you're the Empire, they're obviously a lot more tolerant. Like Brunwulf Freewinter is not racist like Jarl Ulfric is. But at the same time, he is very much part of an empire that is under corruption and major duress, which will probably fall at some point. So, like, both sides, there are good and evil things that come about, and it's kind of like, okay, what decision do I need to make? So that was the one interesting part of the Skyrim Civil War storyline. But there was so much more they could have done with that, but they just Todd Howarded it up. Love you, Todd. But I don't know. I always went with the Empire just because I wanted to try to unite everybody against the elves, and I felt like it would be a more tolerant Skyrim with the Empire in charge.
The Winterborn know how to set up a defense. This will be a
Plus, shouting the High King apart wasn't very cool. That wasn't very cash money of him. You know, that would be a good reason to buy the new Skyrim, but I really doubt they touch any serious content. It's probably going to just be like, look, a fishing mini game.
If I'm right, and the Briar Hearts are grown, then I can destroy them. I'll know
for our group. Well, the more the merrier, I always say.
If you go on the cuttingroomfloor.com and read the page for Skyrim, there's a lot of information in there about, like, stuff that they had originally intended to do for the Civil War storyline, but they never implemented it for time or laziness or whatever reason. But it was going to be a lot more in-depth than it was at one point.
Oh, good. You found him.
Which is very often the case with games. They have this plan, you know, this elaborate plan, and then when they go to program it, they're like, oh, wait, maybe this is a little harder than we thought.
All right, let's go.
Come, follow me. If my suspicions are correct,
Come, my orc lady.
finding what I'm looking for.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Down here, aren't we?
Keep your eyes open, looking for a plant or a root. Something that doesn't appear quite natural.
Like any of this. First Elder Scrolls I played was Oblivion. I had a buddy that I worked with, my first job, after I just bought an Xbox, and he's like, "Oh, you got an Xbox? You want me to lend you some games?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. You know what you got?" And he's like, "Well, have you played Oblivion?" I'm like, "No, what the heck's Oblivion?" He's like, "You never heard of Oblivion?" He's like, "You can do anything in that game." I was like, "You can do anything?" "Yeah, you can do anything." I was like, "You can't do anything in that game." He's like, "I bet you can." So he let me borrow Oblivion. And you could, in fact, do anything in that game. Will you stop? When you get that cancel right, it's so satisfying. You know, there's some guy on YouTube that did like a 7-hour retrospective of Morrowind. I watched a good chunk of it Saturday. Just had it playing in the background while I was tending to other things. But I've come to realize something, that Morrowind is considered a super classic because of how absolutely stupid broken it was. And I've come to realize games that let you cheat them are the ones that people like go crazy over. Because that's like Shin Megami Tensei Imagine. As far as like an MMO, it's completely broken. But why do people keep coming back? Because it's broken. You get this feeling of like you're getting away with something, but at the same time you still have to work for it. And that's a super hard balance to pull off as a developer. But games like that have it, and that's why they're so fun to keep going back to. And you can break Oblivion, but because the enemies scale with you so frequently, it's harder. But you still absolutely can. Most of my playthroughs would end because I would go farm the little enhancement orbs you get until I got 20% invisibility orbs, and then you make a set of armor that lets you be completely invisible 100% of the time. But see, it's fun that the game lets you do stuff like that. Games these days don't let you break them. In fact, they just scale to the player's advantage so that the player is just strong enough to finish the content because they're so worried about people seeing content. Like, you already got the $60. Who cares if everyone sees all the content? That's kind of morbid, actually.
I'm the only king in this dang place. You keep fighting. I get to burn one of those.
Think you are clever. Burn tiny saplings. But they are empty.
Of course I know about them.
You think you can...
Okay. I probably should be reading this because the Hargravens and the Briarhearts are some of the more interesting ESO lore, but I don't know why I'm here or what I'm doing. All I know is that I must kill and burn. I don't like the elves, but I think the Argonians deserve the hate. Well, we probably shouldn't hate anybody, but I don't know, except the Thalmor. Nobody likes Thalmor.
You have sided with the orc pigs, which makes you our enemy. I am preparing myself.
Aldemir Dominion's pretty cruel, so if I ever get the encounter of like the Thalmor escorting the prisoner, let's just say it's not a good day for them. Whoa. Where are you going? You're supposed to exploit stunned enemies with heavy attacks, but as far as just mobs, it's just easier to continue wailing on them.
Suppose you... Well,
Dadgummit, Eevee Sharp Eye. More like Eevee Dumb Eye, am I right? Say, look, we'll just Sonic the Hedgehog our way past all these guys here.
More soldiers like her in my army.
I am not...
Got places to be, gotta follow my rainbow.
Time you got here, do something before I throw stuff here.
Oh, I didn't even try my shade power until now. Nice for a little extra DPS. Oh, he's over here.
Don't just stand there. What am I doing? I'm being roasted alive. What does it look like I'm doing? What's worse, they have my alchemy back.
Okay, that was a little funny, ZeniMax writers.
There you are. I was looking all over for... Hey, how'd Alanon get up there?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm roasted alive.
I'm not 100% certain. Sure. Hey, Alanon, I need you to stay very, very still so I can...
Yeah, you see, this is a game designer trick. They don't want to go through the process of animating him getting out of that cage, so they're just going to send me off to do something else
You tuck and roll.
while he teleports to the bottom. I need to work on finding another interview for the channel. I haven't done a good interview in a while. Those were always fun. We should just interview Alex Easley again since he was such a cool dude.
Let's show them who really
That's the second Sonic the Hedgehog OST song you sang. Yeah, like, I'm somewhere between, like, those songs are good and those songs are so cringe they're funny from Sonic Adventure 2. Oh, I was supposed to find an alchemy bag. Oh, you had the legit soundtrack to Sonic Adventure 2?
ready when you are.
I didn't get to play that game until it came out on the GameCube. But I always wanted to. Like, I remember reading about Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 in magazines and, like, hearing about it. And I had a friend that had a Dreamcast. I saw it maybe 1 or 2 times at his place. But I didn't get to play it till it came out on GameCube. And so to me, like, I started with Sonic Adventure 2. I've still never played through Sonic Adventure 1. Thought that was just like the coolest thing ever. Apparently they changed a lot of stuff in the Sonic Adventure 1 port, though. Cybershell did a video on it. I don't think it's such that it would, like, if you'd never played the Dreamcast version, that it would destroy your enjoyment of it because you just wouldn't know. But if you're like a crazy purist, it probably would. There were a lot of P's in that sentence. If you were a purist, it probably would. Well, that's only 2. But would and put would destroy. Yeah, never mind. This Hargraven's just vibing.
What vile sorcery! We'll all be better off when this tree finally burns.
Yeah, there's Sonic Adventure, and then there's Sonic Adventure 2. Both of them came out on the Dreamcast, but they also ported them both. It's like Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, and then there's like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and they changed some stuff in both of them. Yeah, but there's a user, I think his name is Cybershell. You can go check out his video about like why Sonic DX is a bad port. on the GameCube.
Pour it on the tree. The winter
I'm
born are
almost
on their
certain
way.
we can defeat.
Defend the tree until the elixir does its work. Just don't let the Winterborn get close enough to heal it.
How you gonna heal a flaming tree?
Stop the intruders! The tree must not be destroyed!
I'm like straight up leaving the tree undefended, but who cares? What menders? Oh, the tree tender here. I've heard that guy's voice actor somewhere before, but I can't recall from where. Attack him, Cooney, come on. I summoned that shade and it just went running off in the opposite direction. There it is.
One more problem solved. Now, let's go take care of Ice.
The bad guy in Mickey Mouse? Pete?
Ice Heart of us.
He does sound kind of like Pete.
We can't leave yet.
Your brother actually unlocked the Emerald Hill 3D stage? That was one of those things as a child. I was like, oh, this is impossible. Like this, you shouldn't even try this. Like it's not possible to do. Just don't try it. It's like attacking Obi-Wan with the high ground. It's just not something you do, you know? It's not something you should waste your valuable time. What have I got plugged up down here? Oh. And we're back. So I thought in the last few moments we have, just try this out and see if this even works, so that next week when we get ready to start our next playthrough of whatever it is, we'll be good to go. So we can turn on our standby. Yeah, like I don't even know Because, like, those levels, like, one of those is, like, get a rank on everything. And it's so, like, picky about what you have to do to even come close to sniffing A rank in that game. Like, I would just never want to have to spend the time grinding that out to get that to work. Yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm gonna have to play with it some more. So I was gonna try to pull up Hybrid Heaven, but that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to set up, because that's just not going to work, unfortunately, on that short of notice. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. It is end of stream time. We've reached another stream. Well, we certainly had some laughs today. We've had some fun. We've learned about the Titanic. We laughed. We cried. As always, if you are not a member of our Discord, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. Just hop in there and tell me what you'd like to see next, as well as discuss our current videos and content, whatever it may be. Post funny memes. Talk about football or Primal Rage, apparently. What are we talking about? How expensive arcades are in Dubai. If you like fighting game bosses, Admiral McFish is in there. You can ask him any questions and talk with him. It's just a real good time, so be sure to drop by. So shout outs to all our regulars. Shout outs to Jaime and Review Fox. Atlas Moon, saw you a lot tonight too. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good night. Take care. We'll see you next Monday.